this is not a podcast
at all. He's got the No Podcast podcast. It's on YouTube and Facebook. And so if you want that experience, that's going on now. But I'm also on TikTok just because people on TikTok would be interested in what we're talking about. So we'll be... Are we live over there?
We're live, yes.
We're
now live on YouTube and Facebook. And we have little beats going here. So sometimes I'll be dropping some bars.
Okay.
And then other times we're just going to be chatting and having fun.
Okay, well, let's go.
Let's go. We're doing it. It's getting late.
It's getting late. We got people
waiting, dude. We don't want to keep the people waiting. That is not appropriate. All right. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome. Oh, my goodness. These people. All right. We got Instagram in the house. Hi, Instagram. This is my buddy Rodney Norman. There he is. Look at him. He's an internet star, internet sensation already.
Instagram people.
There you go. Hello.
People.
Thank you all for joining us on this very awesome. It's not a podcast, so
it's not a podcast.
No pressure. There's no pressure. It's just not. It's not. That's not what it is.
There's no form or function to any of this. There's no purpose.
No, it's purposeless.
It's pure
waste of time.
Yes.
All right.
That's it.
And we're gonna have fun. All right. I'm gonna do my little intro here. You guys ready? Because we're actually gonna edit this afterwards, so I need to make sure it is crisp. And we're going to do this crisp intro right here. Here we go. And please say hi if you're here. Give us some comments and let us know that you're here. Say hello to my friend Rodney. Here we go.
Yes.
This is... This is not a podcast.
He's singing right now.
And I have a little pad going right now. It's like nice and soothing.
There's music that you can
It's a little intro to make people feel welcome. We want you to feel welcome.
We're getting there. I'll be talking.
He'll be talking too, yeah. So this is not a podcast, so don't worry about if we mess up. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter at all.
This is real. It's all.
This is all just a construct. This is all a
pure
part of the
unadulterated stupidity.
Matrix.
That's what we are.
All right, we got Scott Patrick. Oh, Scott Patrick, my buddy. He's here, man. How are you doing, buddy? Tell me how you're doing.
Scott Patrick.
Tell me how you're doing. Tell me what's going on with you, and then we'll tell you what's going on with us.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we're agreeing on that. So I'm here today. This is Donnie Stopa. Thank you for being here for this. I mean, it's not a podcast.
It's not a podcast.
We know that. We
don't know what it is, but we know what it isn't.
We know what it isn't, and it is not that. So thank you for being here. We're going to talk about, I don't know, whatever happens, because we're living our truth.
Well, let's talk about why we're here, why I'm here and you're here.
Because we're here.
Why we're in the same place at the same time.
Juxtaposition of us.
This is not something that occurs
this doesn't ever happen.
All the time.
This doesn't happen. I mean, it's happened before.
Let's talk about how we met.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about how we met. So Rodney is a good friend of mine from about 6 years. Was it 5-6 years ago?
Was it 2018?
2018, okay, so 4 years ago. I had the pleasure of meeting this gem. His name is Rodney Norman. If you don't know his name, you know his face, because you can't escape the beauty of this right here. I mean, you can't escape it, and and you get enamored quickly. And,
yes.
And then you get lost in the beard. You get lost.
I'm mesmerizing.
He's very mesmerizing. That's on his Instagram profile, probably. So, yeah, we have him here. And also, Scott Patrick's just chilling. He's just chilling.
Just chilling, Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for chilling with us, dude. Yeah, Scott is a comic here in Tampa, so thank you for joining us, buddy. So, yeah, let's talk about how we met. Here, let me take the pad off. Okay. So, let's see. We met in Carson City, Nevada at the Clean Comedy Challenge.
Yep.
We're doing clean comedy, and it was a challenge.
It was a challenge.
Right. Yeah. What was your biggest challenge there?
Probably the food, because I like Carson City.
Yeah.
But let's just say the food in Carson City. Let's just say the culinary influences in Carson City did not escape 1978.
So limited culinary influences culturally. It just wasn't as...
I mean, the food was good.
But it was sustenance.
It reminded me of, my
rations?
grandparents.
Oh, I thought you were going to say from when you're in the Marine.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Like taco meat rations.
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, welcome to my house. This is my house. Thank you for coming to my house, buddy.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, because Rodney, he's in Florida right now. Florida, if you're from Florida, you know that's how we all say it.
Florida.
See, look at that. He gets it.
Nobody's called it. I've been waiting for someone to call it Florida.
Called Lit Flow. Because you gotta flow.
Well, one thing I've noticed about everybody in Florida is it's like it feels like it's a cult.
Oh yeah,
and
no,
everybody in Florida is always like, so are you? Are you visiting Florida, or
no.
are you moving here to Florida? What brought you to Florida? What spiritual experience did God call you to come to the land of Florida?
Has the Lord been speaking to your heart? Well, that was actually you were outside in Clearwater. That's Scientology, guys. They do a little. They'll give you a personality test, and they say, "Oh yeah, you have a personality," or "We'll if you don't have a personality, we'll form one for you."
Yes, you have a personality. We'll help you end that.
Yeah, we're going to put a stop to that.
We can put an end to that.
We can help you with that.
All it requires is every bit of financial...
yeah, the whole bank account.
All
What's your
the
routing
money
number?
that you've ever and or will ever earn will just come to us, and we'll take care of all your other needs.
Yeah. And we'll give you a comfortable place to sleep. And Tom Cruise will tell us where you're going. Yeah, tell him what's up.
But no, it's been fun being in Florida. I've been here once before, and did shows. But I was only here for a couple days. I didn't have a vehicle, so I was in Orlando, and all I could do was just kind of walk around the hotel.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah,
it
wasn't too bad, but it was just all touristy.
Yeah, so Orlando's straight tourism.
I didn't get the full Florida experience, but here I'm actually hanging out with Floridians.
That's right. Yeah,
and it's been a delightful experience.
Right. I mean, people in Florida are pretty cool, right?
They are really cool.
Yeah,
I've just they're chill. I love it.
Yeah, me too. I can attest to that. Now I've never been to. Well, I went to Utah because you were living in Utah and now you're in Connecticut.
Yep.
I've never been to Connecticut.
But yeah, you went to Utah to do the Drybar comedy.
To do drybarcomedy.com. Check them out.
So that was Provo. Okay, you want to hear something interesting about the Provo location of the Drybar comedy?
What's up with that?
Okay. I've never shared this with anyone.
Oh, well, now we're sharing it with Scott Patrick, at least.
Okay, so I had a girlfriend in high school.
Humble brag over here.
Yeah. And, of course, I thought she was the one and only. She was my one.
I had the same kind of situation in high school. What was up with that?
And, but I got to, but as you know, Mormons, we go on missions.
Right.
Some of us.
Yeah, the Mormons. Well, you have the opportunity to go on a mission.
Yeah, go on a mission for 2 years.
Right.
And I had always wanted to go on one.
Yeah.
Right. Had everything ready to go. Had this girlfriend, and she didn't want me to go. She was kind of trying to talk me out of going. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go.
But she was part of the Mormon church, right?
Yeah, but she was still, girls.
Yeah, emotions. I'm very emotional.
I've always been one that you always put God first, and then everything will either fall in place or fall out as needed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he can.
So I just thought, look, I'm going to go on my mission. If it's meant for us to be, you can last 2 years.
I think you can handle it.
She didn't even last 2 weeks. She was
wow.
She was gone. She was up and gone. Anyway,
dang, dude.
But I was heartbroken. I was crushed. I was just, how could you do this to me? Oh, and I started, why God? How could the love of my life leave me? That whole thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get back off my mission. And so just out of just, you have that weird idea of closure, which is basically is nonsense. But I felt like I needed to just see her one more time.
Right, yeah. No,
And
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just sort of, yeah.
Hey, let's
Because
go.
we had spent several years together. It was.
How are we just going to, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
How do you just...
Yeah, it's just over. So I felt like I just needed to see her one more time. And so I went to visit with her at her work.
Mm-hmm.
I knew where she worked. So I went there, I saw her, we had a conversation, and it was one of those moments I walked out of there, and as I walk out the front door, and I'm walking towards the corner of the street, and still in front of the building, and I remember just thinking, thank you, dear God, for taking that woman out of my life. That would have ended in divorce. I just knew. It was just, I just knew. In that moment, when I spoke to her, I just knew.
Well, what did she say? What did she say? Like,
you know, I don't even remember specifically what it was. Just sort of like, "Hey, I'm back," and I just
was she being rude or mean?
She was rude. She was okay. More like, I think in her perspective,
little sassy.
From her perspective, you know, she's married. She had a baby. She was pregnant. You know, her life was.
Oh,
fine.
that was not you. She was pregnant.
No, she had gotten married while
Yeah.
I was, you know, within months of me leaving.
Whoa, okay.
And she was pregnant by the time I...
Oh, so she just kind of had the idea of like, let me get a man and lock him down.
Yeah, and so she had it. So then I come back in, and I'm just like saying, hey, look, you know, no hard feelings. You know, I just need...
You can't lock him down that easy. You can't lock down that guy.
You know,
like that.
she was rude. And I think from her perspective, she's just like, look, I don't even want to give him the inkling of the possibility that there's something between us.
Right,
you know?
which can be respectful. That's respectful.
Yeah, it was kind of her way of just saying, okay, yeah, you're back. Nice to see you, but, you know, stay out of my life.
I got to say, I'm in my 30, none of your business years old, you know, and I'm 30-something still, barely. And so I deal with women, you know, trying to date, and they really want to lock it down quick. You know, and
yeah, they want the commitment. They want boom, boom, boom.
But
and
the thing
that's
is,
what she wanted from
right.
me. But you know, I was 18. I wasn't
right,
ready to make
saying.
that commitment.
I can't understand. I can't imagine at 18 that being the case. Now, I will say though that women are not always direct. So when women can be direct with me and say, "Hey, I just, you know, I don't see a future, so we need to move on." Or if I say that to them, hopefully I say it nicely, in a nice way.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. And a lot of women aren't comfortable with that, I think. And or people, not even people, we're not confrontational, you know?
No, we aren't. And,
no.
and I certainly am not.
No.
I don't like conflict.
No, I don't like conflict. No, I don't want that.
But to close this story.
Closure. I need it. I need the closure, baby.
She worked at a place that was called Provo Craft, and it was a craft store.
Oh, I was in Provo.
But here's
Back
the thing,
to the point.
is that business is no longer in business.
And now it is.
And it now is that very building is Drybar Comedy.
Drybar Comedy came from the ashes. Rose
of
his destroyed heart, broken heart. Literally pieces of his heart are still in the foundation of the
yes
of his broken.
It was weird when I went and filmed my first comedy special. And it was
you filmed, you know, I noticed you filmed a few comedy specials.
I've done a couple of dry bars. Yes.
Yeah. Well, don't you have 3 or 4?
I have 4.
4. Beat that.
But I will say one of them was by accident.
Accidental.
Well,
how do you accidentally have a comedy special? This is the kind of accident I need to happen.
So what happened was they do basically off-season shows. So it's they're not filming, but they have the.
But they're using it as it's a nice venue.
It's a nice venue.
It's a great venue.
So they'll just have regular shows when they're not doing the TV show.
Okay, so maybe they're working on the film equipment.
So so there's just to have regular shows.
Yeah,
you know, that's not you're not worried about editing video and everything. It's just you just have a show.
Right.
Well, they do these all the time.
Sure.
When they're not filming for
right, and it is a solid venue. So if you're in Provo, make sure you go to a show.
Yes.
They film on the weekends. What is it, Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, Fridays and Saturdays.
Fridays and Saturdays.
But you know, they have regular shows. And so I was doing a weekend with shows.
Yeah.
And I did not know that they were filming. at all. I had no idea that they were
Well, that's
filming.
probably best because every time I
Yeah.
know, it's like I get, in my head about it.
Yeah, well, and so there I'm in Provo with a Provo audience. I grew up in Provo, and so I was doing a lot of jokes about
Local
Provo and about
jokes.
Utah, and
Right. Which don't play in New York.
Yeah, it's not an international set
Or-
by any
yeah.
means. I had no idea it was going out to the interwebs, right? If they had just say, "Hey, by the way, we're live streaming this," then it would have been a different experience.
Yeah, you may have even not told exclusively
Yeah, I
Provo
would have
jokes.
done so much Provo and Utah material.
I need to
would
see
have
the
done-
Provo special. I have not seen that one.
But it was funny. 'Cause I had no idea that they were doing that until I'm driving home, and all of a sudden my DMs start popping up,
Yeah.
and I had like 20 people are popping saying,
Slamming
"Man, I love
DMs.
watching your show." And I'm going, "What? Were you there? Why?
Why you say
it's like,
hi? That's rude,
yeah,
bro.
why didn't you say hi?" And I'm like, and I'm getting somebody from like Australia going, "Hey, that was a great one, mate." I'm like, "How did you see that show?" Right? And then finally, it was my nephew who said, "Yeah, that it was live streamed on YouTube."
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh," because I'm just like. Plus, I was
See,
doing jokes.
mine was live streamed.
Uh-huh.
Mine was live streamed, but did they take that live stream and make something of it?
Oh, it's on. It's still out there. Yeah. No, it's.
What do they do with the live
YouTube.
streams?
They only put the live streams on YouTube, so it's still on YouTube.
Is my live stream still on
It
YouTube?
could be. If they live streamed it, yeah, it probably still is because mine is.
Because my first set was my best set, and that was the one that they. Well, I like this. I had more fun in the second one because I was more loose because I'd already done the first one. But my second one had like more, loosey goosiness.
Uh-huh.
But the first one, I definitely hit all my marks because that's what you do on the first one. You're like, I gotta hit this joke, this joke, this joke, this joke, and I'm out.
Yeah.
And so I definitely did that on the first one. When I reviewed it, I didn't feel as good about it because I felt like, because I like to just be flowy with it.
Yeah.
But it actually worked really well for the format. But that's creepy that I don't know that it's out there because. Who's seen? I guess apparently nobody's seen it because nobody's in my team.
Nobody said anything. No, it was just weird to me that all of a sudden these people are like, "Hey, I watched your show tonight." And I'm going, "How?" And then I find out they live streamed. So that one is out there. And then the original one that I did was, and I'm clean shaven. No, that was fun.
That's a technical. Don't worry about it.
And I've
it's
had
not a
people
podcast.
who were like,
"This is not a podcast,
It's
so
not
that's
a podcast,
not
so
even
it
a
doesn't
problem
matter.
at all.
Doesn't matter
so
at all.
Don't even, don't fret."
Right. And so anyway, so it was just weird they produced. But anyway, the first one I did was back before anybody knew what Drybar was. I was in the first season. I think I was like the fourth or fifth week of taping.
Who was at your week? Who was there?
Kellen Erskine.
Kellen Erskine.
And he had friends at Drybar
Okay.
who had been pushing to have him do this.
Right.
So they were all celebrating, excited about Kellen.
Okay.
And
yeah.
so when I got there, I was basically informed that I was just there to be the warm-up act for Kellen.
Oh, so you were like the MC.
Oh, no.
No, you were just
I was the
hit
comedian.
yours and then his.
They had an MC, and then the way that
He was the headliner.
Originally, they because
Because it's different now. It's longer.
No, originally the way they did it was you get 40 minutes.
Right.
The other guy got 40 minutes. And
Right.
so they have an MC. He goes up and does about 10. And then you go up, you do your 40. And then they have a break. They change the background
Right.
to the other guy's set.
Gotcha.
He does his set.
Okay.
Right. And then they change out the audience. So there's a different
Oh, they
show.
changed out the audience.
So the audience leaves.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they did that.
And then
Mine-
they bring
yeah.
in a new audience. And
Yeah.
then that guy who closed out the first show, he's now the opening for the second show. So
okay.
you get a chance to be the closer.
You get to be the headliner for one of them.
Yeah. So that you have one show that you're basically the warm up guy.
Yeah, they're a little bit
and
cold.
then the other show,
They're hot.
you're closing.
Yeah.
So you get those options.
Right.
They didn't give me that option. I was the opener for both.
Opener
They
for both.
actually made me. I opened for the first show, did my 40 minutes, and then he does his 40. Then they switched the whole things back over,
Yeah.
right? And then I opened again for the second show.
Then he opened for the second show. So out of those two, they put a special together.
Yes.
Okay.
And they wanted you to do the same set, both shows, so then they could take the best of each and clip them together.
All right.
Well, I was kind of pissed when I'll be very honest. I was rather perturbed when they basically told me, yeah, you're just here to be the opening act for Kellen. So we don't care about it. And they even said, we don't know.
So they treated you like...
they told me straight up that they probably wouldn't even use my footage, that they wouldn't do anything with it. And if they did,
That's
it would
a bummer
take a long
to like
time.
you go up and you're like,
So
oh
I'm
yeah, I'm
basically
ready to...
being told, oh, by the way, yeah, this is a big moment for you, but we're probably never going to release your special.
Wow, that's not the best. That's a mixed emotions.
And this is before I said a word. This is before I even got on stage.
Yeah.
I mean, this is basically they're reading me the riot act of, well, look, don't get your hopes up, but you're just here to, because we love Kellen and he's
the guy.
Kellen, and look, nothing against Kellen.
Hey, we
Kellen
love you.
is funny, and you should go watch him.
Definitely watch him.
And there's nothing, but it was just weird that they did that.
It was
so
weird.
I gave up on the idea that would ever be seen.
Right.
So then fast forward several years, and I'm invited to go back and shoot. And so I thought, well, that one is never going to be seen, right?
Right.
And so, so I had some of the same jokes, but of course they've evolved.
You've expanded on them.
And so I did them with, now it's, I've got a beard and, it's a different,
it's different look.
act.
Well, because I remember seeing the clean shaven kind of look, or at least. Yeah, you were.
And that's
short hair.
that was the first one. Was that
right?
But by the time we met, the beard and the hair.
You were kind of getting it. You had a little bit of a beard, and it was kind of growing out.
Yeah, and so I did a special for that, and I told them this is the one I want released.
Right.
Because this is me. My act is different.
Right, because you have this persona figured out better.
And please release this one.
Right.
Then 2 weeks later, I also filmed a special as Santa Claus.
I saw part of it. I didn't see the whole thing, but yes, I saw that.
Okay. So the deal was we filmed it just before Thanksgiving. The idea was to have it released just after Thanksgiving, so I had several weeks leading up to Christmas to really get a following.
That's the perfect time. That's the only time you...
But there had been miscommunication, and so what ended up happening was instead of working on the Santa Claus special and getting it released, they went and started working on the special from 2017.
That's okay. Because I'm like, how does this guy get so many Drybar specials? Okay, we're figuring things out.
So that one they start working on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like going, how come, because I know the guy who runs
yeah.
And I'm like, hey, how come my Santa thing hasn't been released? And he goes, well, I told him to fast track it. Let me find out what's going on. So he goes and starts asking around and finds out that they didn't do anything with Santa at all. It'd been sitting on a shelf because they were focused on the special.
Elf on a shelf. No, we got Santa on the shelf.
4 years ago. So then they stopped. They got the Santa Claus thing out. But then... so they shelved the 2017 thing, and then all of a sudden they just decided to release it. And I'm like, they send me things say, hey, and then they didn't
talk about an emotional roller coaster.
Then they didn't name it. We were supposed to name your special.
Yeah, you have to have a name. Yeah, they didn't like my first name, so they're like, can you do another name? I gave them another one.
I told them, I gave them 3 suggestions, and I didn't want a long title.
Yeah, you want it simple.
Yeah, just simple. And I told him just put "stay focused" or just something silly like that. But they ended up naming it. It's the dumbest name of ever. I would have.
And this is nothing you put.
I did not come up with it.
So you put 3 suggestions.
None of them I went with.
They went a different direction.
They've titled it. Nobody had ADHD when I was a kid.
Okay. So this is actually something that's commonplace now because now the algorithms, you're thinking about algorithms and you're thinking about all the marketing. Because if you go to Drybar, you'll see that room where they have all the whiteboards and they're like, okay, they definitely have the marketing, the algorithm stuff figured out. It's a content making machine because that's how they're the largest comedy network in the country. Mm-hmm. So... yeah, I've had friends who are like, oh, this is my Drybar name. I want this to be the name. And then it comes out and it says, Oh, my friend Ron Hortman. His came out, and it was shout out to Ron Hortman. If you don't know Ron, RAHN Hortman, HORTMAN. This guy's killer, one of the best in the business, and I love him so much. He's such a cool dude and just a gem. So Ron Hortman, he had an idea for what he wanted it to be called, and then they said, nah, we're gonna call it something that wasn't even in the special. Like it was just like a full sentence. He's like, it was a full sentence, and my thing was like 2 words, you know. And again, it's about those keywords. I think it's all about the keywords.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because they became very privy to the marketing.
And look, I look at it this way. They know what they're doing. I'm like, okay,
that's
whatever.
Literally what I did. So I told them when they asked me like about the edit, I said, listen, just edit it. Whatever's the best for Drybar brand. Because
well, at that point I was just like, whatever.
Because I was like, just whatever works for your people. I want it to be whatever you believe will be the most marketable stuff, you know, and that'll get the best reach. So I said, so just send me that and I'll approve it or whatever. And I did. I had very minor. I think I had like 2 notes and it was very simple. But yeah, because I think they know the name of the game as far as what's gonna get people to click. They want people to click that button you know that we got a weird looking dude or. You know, a dude doing with a guitar, and he's like got a weird face, and like that's what we want. You know.
Yeah. But what has ended up happening now that I think is that I did some of the same jokes in what I thought was going to be the special.
Right.
But now that special probably never going to get released, even though that's the only one. That's
because
the one
now they're like, well, Drybar already produced this content.
Because I've already done those jokes twice now because of the one thing that I didn't know was going out.
But Rodney, I actually have an interesting thought about this.
Odd.
What do you think of this? There are a lot of comics who've been around for, you know, decades who have repeated content in their specials. You know.
Oh yeah.
So and even Drybar re-releases specials. Yeah. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
So I would think, why not do a different, you know.
Again, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we don't know if he's going to have 3 or 4 Drybar specials. So, okay.
There's 3 out there now. There's a 4th one in the can.
Yeah, I mean it's.
But I don't.
It's really a first world problem.
It is. Yeah, there's other comics are going. I'd get one.
I'd like to be on the morning news.
But it's ridiculous.
They could say, you know, yeah.
So.
But anyhow, we love Rodney and his awesome comedy. And so, yeah, Rodney and I, we met at the Clean Comedy Challenge in the Carson City Nugget Casino.
Yes.
Their club was pretty cool. I like that club.
It's even better now. I'm actually going to be back there the end of April.
Thanks for the invite. All right.
Are you around? You want to come?
Well, I don't know. I've checked my... Let's see. Yeah, I'm there. I'm in.
I need to get you in with the guy that books it.
Well, okay. So it used to be Heath. Is it still? No. Okay. So it's a different guy.
It's a different guy.
Different guy. All right. Yeah. So yeah, get me in with that guy.
Okay.
Committed.
But yeah, so Carson City Comedy Club.
Carson City Comedy Club is great. Yeah.
Yes.
If you're ever in Carson City,
it's a fun little room.
It is a fun room. When we were there, it was really fun, and I felt like just overall the demographic of the people who were there, they were okay. Like they weren't offended easily. They were
fun. They were there to have a good time. There was no pretentiousness at all.
No,
it was just down.
And we all had fun.
Good home, down home folk. Yeah, they're having a good time.
Yeah, let's have some fun.
Didn't care.
You know, put a nickel in the slot. See if we.
Yeah, it's a fun little room.
Yeah,
and so I'm looking forward to getting back there.
I would also look forward to being back there. There you go. So one thing I would say is we just had a show. We just had a show last night.
Yes, we did a show last night at the Catherine
Hickman Theater. Gulfport. Shout out to Gulfport, folks. Gulfport. Thank you so much.
That's right. I'm in Florida, everybody.
Florida, baby. Oh, we got Stefan on here. Hello, I'm here to ask a trivia question. Are you ready? Are Are you ready for this right here? I'm doing some syncopation, baby.
Okay, so he's doing stuff.
Are you ready? Are you ready? You can discuss it, but you can't cheat. Are you ready? Are you ready for the...
We gotta talk about this.
All right, let's talk about this. You ready for this? Because I'm not. Let's do it.
Okay. Dear people of the planet. I'm a comedian and I'm an actor. I create characters for their comedic intent.
I really like your characters.
And sometimes, and I apologize for being such a brilliant,
Thespian.
talented thespian that some people will lure it in. They think this is real. That's because I am real. I'm a real good actor.
Real Rodney.
And I pulled you in. I apologize. I'm sure that you probably don't go to movies at all because they're all lying to you. They're all actors.
But not Alec Baldwin.
Portraying things.
Everybody except for Alec Baldwin's a liar.
And no, that's the weirdest thing to me is people who get mad at me for because they watch 2 videos and they think, oh, this guy's real, and then they find out it's a character.
Right. So Rodney plays a character. If you don't know Rodney, he's an internet sensation. I don't know how you found me if you haven't already found this guy, but he's an internet sensation, and he plays this very endearing yet strange and kind of aloof, would you say, character?
Well, he's the idea behind him is that he is so smart and intelligent that things that normal people think are important aren't important. So
that's actually, I would call that wisdom. I would call that wisdom.
So he's not worried about the way he looks. He's not worried about having a perfect video. He's not worried about saying it perfectly. He's got something to say. Nobody's been paying attention, and he can't figure out why people are so stupid.
Right.
And so he's explaining things as simply as he can so that people will comprehend what he's saying.
Well, okay, point counterpoint. How about sometimes it sounds like you can't even, you don't even know the word that you're going to use.
And that is true.
That is true. Yeah, that's real. That's the real part.
Yes. Well, most of these ideas, I just get an idea. I found that when I have an idea, to just stop and record it and just do it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why sometimes I'm like,
so yeah, because I like to
on the road. It's because I'm literally driving somewhere.
You told me that story. You saw a sign. You saw a sign. So you, on your way out, you're like, oh, I need to stop at that sign.
Yeah.
And make a video.
Yeah.
No. So you have a rule. What's your rule about making videos? Like, how do you get your most popular videos? Where do those come from?
As soon as I have an idea that I think is half-baked and stupid, I know I got to stop and record something. And so I pull over, or, sometimes I'm at home and I'll just run outside. And
beautiful scenery, by the way. The backdrop's always awesome.
I got that idea because I was... when I first started doing the character, I was doing it inside in my office.
Right.
And... later on, I started thinking, I've got some of the best scenery in the world in my backyard.
Yeah.
Why don't I just go do it there? Instead of trying to, be fancy in a studio.
I thought I really thought that was unique and just brilliant, even though it's more simple, to do that way.
But it's become, I prefer to do it. I mean, sometimes it's either, for circumstances, I can't always do it that way. But
yeah, of course.
But when I have beautiful scenery behind me, why not do it?
Now, but do you superimpose backgrounds with green screen?
No, I've not used any green screen at all for this character yet.
Not okay.
I've got some things coming up that I'll probably use green screen for, but for right now, I haven't done any. But I just, like I said, I find a nice place and I turn on the camera and I just start going. Yeah. And most of the time when I'm done, I think this is quite possibly the stupidest thing I've ever done, and that's the indication that I should post it.
Ha ha! Take that, Dad. I know he's seen some of my videos, and he thinks I've lost my mind.
There's been a couple times where I thought, well, I'm going to reshoot this, and then when I do, it just doesn't. It's like, no, the first one was always
right. It has because you're in the moment, you're present, and you're doing because you're a comic. You've been doing comedy, what, you say 24 years now?
24 years, yeah.
24 years.
Stand-up.
Doing stand-up at least, yeah, because you were always acting and...
Acting, improv, sketch, all that stuff before.
Yeah, yeah. So, all that background, timing, misdirection, all these basic, it's in your brain. So when you do it and it's the first try, a lot of times it's just like you're excited about the idea at that time.
Yeah.
And so it comes out the best. And then when you try to recreate it, it kind of it just doesn't feel as genuine.
Yeah, it just loses something. So, yeah. So
even if it's not perfect.
And the fun
time.
thing about my character is that he doesn't care if it's perfect.
Yes.
And
it's okay to not be okay.
That it's not perfectly set. In fact, the ones that have gone the best, the videos that always do the best are the ones where I screw it up.
Yeah. Like you have one where you belch, right? Like you just...
I belch. I have one where I have a coughing fit.
That's right, coughing, yeah.
And then instead of... I just... As I'm coughing, I'm going, crap, I'm going to have to redo this. And then I thought, nah, Leonard doesn't care.
Leonard.
So Leonard is his
He
name.
has a name, people.
He has a name. Leonard McCrunsky.
McCrunsky. Give the man some respect.
Yes.
Leonard
came from... Leonard is the name of the road in Stafford Springs that you take to go to the dump.
Okay.
And McCrunsky is...
wait, you're not talking about like the 7-Eleven. You're talking about like the city dump.
The city dump.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. Or the transfer station, as they call it. And then McCrunsky is just sort of... it's based loosely on my grandfather, his last name is McPhee.
Okay.
So I wanted that Mac... thing, but I didn't want it to be McPhee because it's not really a true depiction of my grandfather. It's just more of an influence of my grandfather.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I went with that just weird name. And
that character, man, I love that character, man, and obviously people love that character. It's very endearing, just because it's like you said, it's like showing people that it's okay if you don't have it all together.
Yeah, because everybody else is trying to be perfect. Everything, the hair's perfect.
So you're just doing it the opposite of whatever anybody else is doing.
Yeah, whatever's popular, I'm just doing the other thing.
That's punk rock, baby.
Come on. I don't care. They say, oh, you gotta follow these rules. Okay, I'm not gonna follow any of those.
Nope. Yeah, because when you get because a lot of my friends are trying to get into social media, and a lot of obviously comics are trying to really figure it out, and they're like, oh, I have to post 3 times a day, and then you become a slave to the algorithm.
Yeah, and then I think your quality, like I said, I only do videos.
Well, your quality of life can go down.
Yeah,
I think.
And if you're always chasing the algorithm, I think it's just a poor. I make a video when I feel like I want to make the video. I post it, and if it doesn't work, a lot of times I wait a week and then I repost it, and then it takes off.
Right. Yeah, it's just a crap.
Yeah, and you're never going to get overexposed. People don't go through and watch all, especially like TikTok.
Yeah,
they don't go through and watch every video.
Yeah. Well, I have all my subscribers. The number of subscribers I have, I'd say it's probably like, well, I don't know, like maybe not even 10% of those people is the number of views that I get on a video if I don't if I don't share it on a page or something like that, just organically, but then sometimes I'll post something like the shorts, and those will go to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that took me 5 seconds, but I spent hours on this other video that only got a couple hundred views. This one I just had one get 11,000 views where I just, I make faces and, I do silly stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you want to hear, this is a fun one. So, it was I was still back at home. And I was working on some other video projects, for other people. And I'm sitting there in my studio, and I'm getting my camera set up and for my next shot.
Uh-huh.
And doing it on my phone. And I just had this weird idea. I thought, why don't I just take a moment, because you're always scrolling through on TikTok and it's people talking at you.
Oh, you can do that for hours.
Yeah. And I thought, you know what?
Anybody do this for hours? No? Okay.
I thought, I'm going to do one where I just give the person watching these videos a chance to just, if they want to yell at me or say anything, I'm just going to be quiet. So I did a video for 1 minute. I say nothing. I just stare at the camera, and
Well, were you doing any of your like physical stuff? Like,
No, I just
looking
thought,
at
you
the
know
camera?
what? I just want, I think I feel like we've lost that human connection.
you're right, and the ability to just
Just relax.
relax.
And so I thought, I'm just going to take a moment, and I'm just going to be relaxed. I'm going to look at the camera, and I envisioned talking to one of my kids about them just telling me something that's going on in their life, and they just need someone to listen to. And I thought, I'm just going to sit here for a minute and just listen.
Yeah.
And so I'm just looking at the camera, and I'm just listening. I didn't say anything for a full minute, and just shared it. And I thought it was sort of a little experiment, to see
Right.
what
Just
would
to
happen.
see what happens.
And that video is just really blown up.
So what did you like? So you didn't fidget? Did you fidget?
No, I didn't
No?
fidget. I just kind of just stare into the camera, and
So wait, was there a stream
Smile.
of people talking or comments? Could you see the comments?
it wasn't live. It was just a video, and I posted it.
Oh, you just posted it just to see what
And-
people would say.
But people have been reacting to it,
Yeah.
just saying like, because it was like a break, because they get to my video and go, oh.
I haven't had a
We're
chance to
we're
just
just
be
sitting
still
here.
with myself.
Yeah, and it was like,
Right,
wow.
yeah, because I mean, usually you have a screen in front of you, you got the TV on,
Yeah,
you got the
there's just
kids
noise,
tearing at
noise.
you, trying to get you to do something. Wow.
And here
yeah.
comes this video. It's just me,
Just existing.
just
He's just
existing,
existing, people.
just sharing this moment of
We're having a
quiet
moment.
with somebody, and
Yeah.
I
That's
think it's
therapeutic.
been one of my. I think currently is my favorite video that I've done.
Well,
quite a
less is
while.
more when it comes to some things. you know?
Yeah, it was just real fun, because I'm just sitting there, just really felt like I'm just listening.
Yeah.
No judgment, just you want to tell me something, tell me something.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
That's
our little
great,
secret.
man.
I'm not going to tell anybody. 'Cause- you know
That's
what I mean?
cool. That's really cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So the sentiment of somebody is there to listen. Everybody wants to be heard, and sometimes people don't feel understood. So
Yeah.
maybe this is an opportunity for somebody to just say, man, I feel like my boss doesn't get me. I feel like, the teachers in school are being mean to me.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. And there we are. Check him out. He's an internet sensation. So yeah, man, I really dig. What I dig about your work is that it's just raw humanity. It's like, because it speaks to human hearts.
Yeah.
As much as it's silly, and it is very silly, and it makes me crack up. But it also is, I believe, the part that catches on and why it's so viral and why you have so many viral videos is because it's like, no, this is just like humanity and saying, well, it's okay to not be okay, and you don't have to have everything figured out. Let's just have this moment right here where we're going to do the best we can with what we got.
Yeah.
And be content. It's okay. We can be okay with that.
Yeah. It's
Not everything's perfect.
well, yeah, because we've always been pushed to this idea that you have to be so successful.
You got to have this gadget.
big
You got to
house,
have
you
this
gotta have
thing.
the car, you got to have this
Yes.
computer, you got to have this camera, you got to have this phone, you got to have all this stuff. You have to look this way and you have to act this way, and it's like that's all nonsense.
Of course. Yeah.
Just find what makes you happy and just be happy.
yeah.
I mean, we're living in the most incredible time in history. We have more opportunities than ever before, and everybody's pissed.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, how could you? We don't have to go out and fight saber-toothed tigers or anything like that. You don't have to go forage for berries for your survival.
Yeah, saber-tooth,
you-
I'd be done.
I mean,
I don't stand a chance.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've
This is not a podcast.
at all. It's not a podcast podcast.